Well, hello and welcome to another episode of The Tactician. I'm Amy Duggan and joined by former Matilda Alicia Ferguson to break down some analysis for you. We've been talking about the Julie Doll and medal contenders. That's the best player in the Ninja A-League at the end of the season. And Aisha's picked out 3 today, and we're going to start with Holly Mac. Show us why.
Well, because Holly Mac's doing Holly Mac things. This is basically Holly Mac 101. Now, against Newcastle, we got Tash Pryor. Looks like they're equal distance to the ball there. But Holly Mac, as you roll on, has that touch. Tash commits to it. She thinks she can get there. But Holly Mac's pace, amazing, really difficult skill to run with the ball at pace with the ball in front of you. Cuts across Tash Pryor to give herself a better angle for the goalkeeper. But we see this so many times with Holly Mac, and it is a difficult skill. You see so many times there's a heavy touch that'll go through to the keeper. But I mean, do you reckon if you were Tash Pryor, you would have taken Holly Mac down there?
We can't, can you? Because the minute you try and engage there, it's a red card waiting to happen. So what happens here is because Holly Mac cuts across the front of the defender has to stop their natural gait, take that little step back, micro step back and attack from the other side. And that's what you'll see Tash do in a minute. Really difficult to defend. And also by Holly dragging the ball across the defender, she's moved the goalkeeper to allow a bigger space in the goal to aim for. So great job there. Lourdes Bosch is the assist on this one.
Yeah, I mean, Lourdes Bosch is a quality player, but Holly Mac in the box, this is also where I've seen her score a lot of her goals within the width of the 6-yard box. Now, Western defender, ball watching here, but Holly Mac just wants to stay on her shoulder, stay out of her line of sight and get ready as Lourdes Bosch brings the ball further in. She's just waiting for that moment to dart in front. Yeah, defender could do better, but that nice little flick around the corner when getting into the near post run. I love that. I don't think we see enough of it in football, and I think that depends on what the formation is, but Holly Mac is really strong in this area.
Would have loved to see the defender throw themselves at that ball there and stop the cross from coming in, but it's too late now. Holly Mac has taken those steps out, given herself a little bit of a gap, gone in and just needed a toe, a tiny little toe in front of the defender to make it count. Here's another great example. Yeah,
well, it's Holly running with the ball. Adelaide playing quite a high line. You play that in behind. But on this example, she's running with the ball and then, again, cuts across the defender, but then goes from a big stride to a smaller stride really quickly to try and slow herself down so she can have that composed finish. And again, going from 100 miles an hour to a bit slower to composure is what all the great strikers do.
Yeah, Holly Mac dribbling with speed and pace and cutting across the defender to give herself enough of an angle to have a shot. Another player we're having a look at today is Annalie Longo from Wellington Phoenix. Now, Annalie holds the highest number of assists in the league, and this is the reason why.
Yep, we've gone from goal scorer to assists, which are equally as important. But Annalie Longo always looks for this diagonal run to get herself in a central position to see this defender even pointing, going, right, do I have to go to the ball? Or I've already got a player here. Annalie Longo's tried to engage her, but what she loves to do is come in and then do that reverse pass back across her body into Elliot, and they've formed a really nice little understanding and partnership. And I think Elliot also understands that that's Annalie Longo's calling card. So every time she's driving in there, Elliot's just checking out on the shoulder going, right, it's definitely going to come into me.
Really tough one there for 2 defenders. But here's another example of her doing the same thing, the reverse pass.
That's it, carbon copy, but it's that understanding. Once you understand how your teammates play and what is their preference and what works for you, just keep doing it. Just keep reading off it. Annalie Longo again now wants to engage. Central defender from Perth. There's space here and it plays on and she does exactly the same thing. That nice little reverse pass in there. Touch and a goal. You know, you don't have to overcomplicate things. If things are working, then you do them time and time again and continue with that success. And I think Annalie Longo, she's just the linchpin. She is what embodies this Knicks team. She's a bit wider in this area, but I love her decision-making here. She could have played that ball in. Look at that space in there. There is no one in there for the Knicks. Elliot's here. But she's decided, right, I'm just going to take a little bit of hesitation. And even for you as a defender, Amy, how hard does that make it for you? Because you're thinking, right, I've got to stop and then go again.
You're in 2 minds, whether she's going to drive you to the line or if she's going to try and cut back inside and do what we saw in an earlier clip. In this case, she takes the ball in and looks for that cut back of a cross. And you've got the striker running in at the front post. Really hard to defend when a ball comes in that heavy at the front post for anybody, because if you're facing the wrong way, it hits you and it ends up as an own goal. So a great ball delivered and a great result. The third player we're going to take a look at is Tamika Yallett from Brisbane Roar, who's managed to score a couple of bangers this season.
Yeah, I mean, Meeks has really turned into the leader of this Brisbane Roar team, and the 3 goals that we'll see are all from different positions. This right-hand side, which just actually sums up her season for Brisbane Roar. She's played a little bit deeper in games. She's played a little bit further forward. She really has a lot of flexibility of where to roam. I love this goal. This just highlights how important it is to sometimes stand still. Stand still and be on your toes. But the technique of her, she brought the ball across her body and so she had the touch, then planted her foot, got her standing foot ready and little backswing, and then it's in the back of the net. And that's all within 1.5 steps, which makes it so hard to defend.
Absolutely
and she hit it top bins.
And you see her just standing still, holding the space while everyone around her is moving and even clapping her hands to say, give me the ball, give me the ball.
Give me the ball, exactly.
Here's another example where she's out wide this time.
Yeah, again, just head up. This is great technique, like dribbling technique, close ball skills, ball on her front foot, so it's on her toe, She's ready to change direction. It makes it difficult for the defender. There's still space to go down this byline, but she's looking up, which makes the defender think, right, is she going to take me on it, or do I need to block across? So then they're in two minds. At this point, she wants to get on her third right foot, does a nice little step over, gets it out of her feet with a couple of touches and hits it into the far post.
And by taking those little touches and then the larger touches we see here with her right foot as she drags it back to then have a shot, she opens up enough space to curl the ball into the top corner, which we've seen a couple of our national team players do too.
Yeah, Caitlin Ford. It's very Caitlin Ford-esque, isn't it? And I just think Meeks has had a really good season. It's almost like she's got a renewed lease of life, but she is almost like a player assistant coach to Alex Smith there, really taking on that leadership role, and it's great to see.
Well, there you have it. Some tactical analysis from 3 of the best players in the Ninja A-League, all up for consideration for the Julie Dolan medal come the end of the season. Thanks, Ish, for your input, and don't forget you can catch all the games from the Ninja A-League on 10 Play and Paramount Plus.